See if this works. Can you see me? No? Okay, great. If you see a tub of soap, you're okay. So, yeah, I know I'm starting a little bit early. I just wanted to get some of the technical things possibly out of the way. The last time we had, or I had some issues, and to be quite honest, I hope today goes better than yesterday, because yesterday I had about 3 power outages. Didn't rain too hard. I don't know what was going on. Hope the quality is good. I don't know if you guys can. Hey, Jasper, Mark, great to see you. Arthur, fantastic. It looks like it's working. I'm just wondering about the quality. Hey, Frank. Yeah, we got about Alex. Got about 3 minutes or 2 minutes to go till we're going to start the with the official part. This is just basically yeah, some tolerance for technicalities and to say hey and all that kind of stuff. Okay. I hope it keeps up. Like I said, I did have some issues with Wi-Fi and with the power supply here. And looking at the weather radar, things aren't fixing to get any better soon. Looks like we got a bit of weather heading in. Yes, Alex. Yesterday was my birthday. Thank you. Jeffrey, fantastic. Great to see you. Golden Steel, good to see you. Fantastic. Wow, hey. We've got audience. Yay. Fantastic to see you guys. So yeah, no, I hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, I don't know. Everything okay this Saturday? I know mine got a little late last night. Yeah, like I said, birthday, and was chatting with some people. Just had a great evening. Thank you, Arthur. That's no big deal. I wasn't necessarily announcing it. Thank you, Frank, for making that obvious. So, oh, something's locked up. Hello. Here we go. Okay. Like I said, the Wi-Fi is spotty today. It's been a bit of an issue. Hey, Sins, Gary, that's okay. That's fine. It might actually be on my end somewhat. Like I said, with the weather coming in, and we've got a lot of construction around in the area, and I've had it happen that all of a sudden, with no, for no particular reason, the internet goes out. So sometimes I'm just thinking it's some, construction worker that tripped over a cable or something. Tony, thank you. Glad you can make it. Jeff, no, I'm not. Well, I don't know if you want to call it catching up with your age. Turned 40. So thank you, guys. Right. It is 101. So let's get into what we've been, what we're here for, the shave. Yeah, hey, no hurry, no hurry, no hurry, Arthur. Hey, like I said, I'm not up to par today. I think I had one too many. Nice glass of whiskey or two yesterday. Right. Today we shall be using the Sharp Dressed Man, and like I said, since it was my birthday yesterday, and I was saving the stubble for today, so this is 4 days. You know, I actually wanted to use Tabak, but since Cap used it last week, I thought it was kind of, well, you know, Tabak Reloaded. So, but Sterling, right at the top of my list, and I love that scent. Smells like old man, like somebody said. So yeah, I turned 40. Yeah, I'm officially now old man. Matching aftershave to go with it, and this is basically all favorite equipment. The Shave Mac DO1 Badger silver tip. Been soaking for about 10 minutes since I've been setting up this stuff. So yeah, and of course, cup of coffee. Much needed today. Frank, yeah, smells like old man. Yeah, thank you, Tony. Thank you very much. And so yeah, it comes down to the razor. I know it's September, and normally I'd be already right in the middle of starting single edge September. But like I said, since this is my some sort of my birthday shave, I opted out of that one for one particular reason. Wonderful package from one of the subscribers, from Todd F, and we traded some we traded some blades, some vintage blades. Thank you, Jeff. Yes, I agree that cup is too small. I have that big one in the bottom of the cupboard. If you saw the Shave Den tour, I could hold about a half a gallon, I think, of coffee. So yeah, we traded some blades, and I haven't touched them yet. So I definitely wanted to, you know, break into them today and use one for a shave. And that I'll leave up to you, and I'll kind of sort of pick the razor alongside with it. I'm trying to go somewhat period appropriate, but you know, if it doesn't match 100%, because I think most of these blades are from the 60s and 70s, and I do have some older ones available. I'll leave that up to you. So again, Todd F, thank you very much. And this is one of the ones that he sent me. Gillette Super. It's a 10-pack in the dispenser. Oops. And still unopened. Actually, some of my razors and blades that I've been shaving with are older than I am, Frank, just for your information's sake. I have some, at least one Schick Super Chromium. I have a 5-pack of Platinum Double Edge, still unopened. And then, here's the one. Dun, 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 or something like that. You know, dramatic music playing right now. The Persona 74, unopened. So, legendary blade made of tungsten steel, which we could have as an option. So I'd, you know, basically, I'd like you guys to just kind of pick which one you would like to see featured. Since I'm not getting any comments, is this just working? Ha, Tony. Okay, thank you. You had me worried there. 74 Schick. Okay. 74 in the Schick. 74. Yeah. Well. Okay. We got 2 for 74 right now. Just to kind of keep things going, I'll leave this kind of chattering a little bit. I know this one will probably not fit with the matching blades, because this razor that I'm fixing to present as a possible user is slightly older. It is from the 30s, and it is a Gillette new deluxe. This is the 15 millimeter one, which we could be using. So, you know, I'm just kind of put the votes out there. And the other ones are my usual candidates that I'd be getting out. I have the Merkur Progress long handle as a possible. And let me see here. I haven't used this baby in a while. The Gillette Red Tip. So these three would be available. 74, 74, 74. Hey, Andrew. Glad you could make it. Are you at work? Congrats, Andrew. The progress came in yesterday. Fantastic. Congratulations on that purchase. Okay, Red Tip. Since the other ones are saying, let's see about that Red Tip. Might take you up on that one, Jeff. I'm surprised nobody wants to see me use that deluxe. It's a fairly efficient one. Like I said, it's the 15 mil, really nice one. Got that one in Florida. Antiquing with my dad. So yeah, it's without the box. The box came later, and I still have to put the appropriate Tucker blades in there, the blue blades, which I have thanks to Brad Melling. Red Tip. All right, I think we've pretty well got things settled. It's mainly going towards the Red Tip and the 74. All right, then we've settled it. That shall be it. I was actually looking forward to this one. I mean, I'm looking forward to using all of these blades, but the 74, that's kind of the unicorn out there. So let's open this up. Still originally sealed. The glue dot is intact. As you can see, printed in USA. Everything is on there. Made in the USA, American Safety Razor Company, division of Philip Morris, Inc. New York, New York. That's what it says on here. So, hey, Carrie. Fantastic. Glad you can make it. So let's get this legend out of the wrapper, shall we? Okay, it's a little sticky. So the glue dots are still somewhat intact. Just inspecting the edge a little bit, except some glue dots. I think we are okay. Here, the wax or glue has kind of sort of, yeah, gotten a little hard, but nonetheless, that is, I consider that a good blade. So let's load it into the Red Tip. Persona 74, legendary. I'm looking forward to that. So thank you very much, Todd. I know you're not here right now, but if you see this after the fact, fantastic. The Keen Edge. Hey, message retracted. Oh, whoopsies. Titty's on his way home from work. He'll be joining in a bit. Fantastic. Thank you, Carrie, for the 40th. It was a fun evening, and I've got my Nat. That's the resident one. Good morning, Keen Edge. Right. So let me get everything else out of the way so it doesn't get damaged or wet. And then let's get into loading the soap. For those of you who just appeared, it will be a Sterling Sharp Dressed Man. Nice tallow soap. Fantastic scent. Creed Green Irish Tweed. Classic European old-timey scent a little bit. Cologne. Everybody says it smells like old man, so that's Steve Mac DO1 Silver Tip. And for those of you watching, I just dipped it. As you can see, there's water coming out, and then 2 good shakes. And since the Badger's plenty of water, let that drip out a little bit. And this is what it looks like. I'm trying to hold this into the camera a little bit. Okay, that's trying to get a little more pasty here, but all in all, I'd say we've almost got it. Whoop! Get some water on the face. tell Oma you're busy. Don't want to waste anything here. Great soap, tallow based. So that's the reason why I basically went in a little on the wetter side, because I know I'm going to need it later on, because it is thirsty. So got that loaded up. Just a tad bit of water on the face because I've got enough in the brush. And we got lather flying all over the place. So how are you guys doing? Hey, Kevin. Fantastic. Glad you could make it. Everybody doing all right? Got a good Saturday going? I hope. So yeah. Oh, yesterday was a somewhat quiet day due to me working so much. I actually enjoyed the downtime, which was fantastic. Just hanging around the house and watching plenty of YouTube videos, catching up a little bit on everybody. Haven't watched Steve's yet, though. Speaking of Steve, is he here? Hey, Zach. Glad you can make it. Yeah, I'm competing, I think, with college football right now, so. You went to the groom room, Kevin. Man, that's, I envy you on that one. Let's see. We have a nice creamy lather. Still plenty in the brush. And we can always go back to the puck in case we need it. There he is, Steve. We're just talking about you. Okay, so let's get going. Gillette Red Tip, Persona 74 First Shave. This could get interesting. Four days worth of growth. And I already can tell you it's smooth. Blade is good. That is working just nicely. I have been looking forward to this shave since yesterday. Yeah, it might be a little on the thick side. The lather. It's been a while since I've used a Sterling soap. It's good stuff. This blade is doing fantastic, guys. Great combination, superbly smooth yet efficient. Absolutely no tugging. Zipping right through. Oh, Zach, you had a cold. Oh, I must have missed that shave. I hope you feel better. Thank you, Kevin. It's 40. Must be a typo. Not as old as you are. I hope there were good things, JC. As far as yesterday, like I said, I got the blade in from the Wisconsin shaver, and the rest of this stuff is kind of still in limbo. The U.S. Postal Service right now is having some issues with this whole thing in Texas. So yeah, just for information's sake, this is the blade we're using, the legendary Persona 74 with tungsten steel. And right now I've been using the Wilkinson sword Dreifach veredelt. It's on its 8th shave, and it's still not wanting to give up. So I take it I've got some long-lasting blades here. So, man, this blade is fantastic. The combination with this razor is absolutely brilliant. You can feel a little bit of the blade just ever so slightly, but not in an uncomfortable kind of way. And it's kind of like, yeah, you feel a little bit of that edge, but not aggressive in any way. Super smooth, just gliding right through. This is brilliant. Question is, of course, how long will it hold up? There's some rumors out there that this thing will hold for like, I don't know, 50 shaves or something. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the birthday wishes. You guys are fantastic. I know you. Some of you already congratulated me on Facebook and stuff like that, but this is even better live. Talking, just talking to you guys. So this is fantastic. Yeah, I remember that one, Tony. The mad scientist, Big John. He was doing an elaborate test on a Persona 74, and he did get a huge amount of shapes out of 100 plus. So if you think about that, that's all I'll be using for the next, I don't know, year, the rest of the year. So yeah, like I said, but blade durability is always a thing of it's like how your stubble is made up of, and how you tear into it. And I know I go through modern blades fairly quick. I haven't gotten one which I've gotten past 6 shaves. Even the Nasets or the 7 o'clock yellows, Gillette Silver Blues, stuff like that. It basically stops at about 5 to 6 shaves. So getting 8 on that vintage Wilkinson sword is already mind-blowing to me. I think I might need to add just a tad bit of water there, just to get some of that, tickle some of that slickness out. Great stuff. Good coverage, beautiful scent. Love the green Irish tweed. Yeah, 100 plus shaves on one blade. I mean, I know some people that can, like an Aster Green, they can do 15 to 20 shaves, but then it's kind of, a little bit of a, I kind of question, is it still efficient, or is it lacking in sharpness and just not tugging? It has to do with your stubble also. I mean, if you've got fairly pliable facial hair, then I'm pretty sure you can get a bunch more shaves out of it than I could, because I mean that's some pretty stuff bristles that I got. So going against the grain, red tip, Persona 74. Oh yeah, okay, superb, guys. This is a fantastic blade. Wow. Now I understand about. We need to be busting down Persona's doors. They need to put this blade back into production the exact same way they did it. This is incredible. beautiful, smooth. I mean, the razor's, you know, fantastic. So that was a great choice. Thank you, guys. Yeah, you don't see very many Persona 74s around on Shave of the Days. Not anymore, at least. I know there's a few guys on Badger and Blade that got, you know, like huge lots of vintage stuff. We're actually are willing to shell out the money in order to get some of these. Off of eBay, they go for like 25 to 30 bucks for a 5. And that was always a little too pricey for my liking. Basically, you know, for something that's expendable. But I definitely get it. I'm sorry I'm a little bit quiet, guys, but this is... I already know there is not going to be much pickups. Sharp, smooth, brilliant. And of course, the soap is performing fantastic. Oops, I got myself. So, okay, let's see what we got in the comments here. Mantic 59 did an interview with the owner of Sterling. Yeah, Roderick, I think is his full name. Lovan, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce his last name properly. Probably butchered it, and I'm sorry if he ever sees this. Yeah, I've actually watched some of that video. I need to revisit it. Just to kind of get the finer points of that interview. But they've never done me wrong. They make a great product. So I consider them a good vendor. Oh, does he live? Oh my God. Okay, Mantic 59 lives in Houston. I didn't know that. I do. He's okay. So, oh, is there some? Okay. Hey, Stephen, don't worry about other people. There's always somebody that, I mean, we present these YouTube videos as, you know, okay, we got this new technique. Truth be told, DE shaving's been around for 120 years now or something. I guarantee you, anything we use, you know, any technique. Come on, get off of there. Any technique we use, somebody has already done it in the past. They just didn't have any means to put it on video or on the internet. So, you know, claim to fame, take it with a grain of salt. So, you know, and combining soap sample, that's been around for ages. I know on Badger and Blade and some of the older members, YouTube members, they call that making a nougat. You just take all the rest of the soap samples, put it in one batch, and when you get about a pile of this high, you go through it with you know, you basically 30-17 it. You Titanic that thing. So, you know, it's like, I don't understand where the quarrels are coming from. Oh, I invented this. Yeah, sure. Matt Pisarcik showed everybody how to do, you know, like a one-pass shave with short buffing strokes. And what have I been doing? Yeah, okay, great, fantastic. You know, you take it with a grain of salt. You know, it's like wink, wink. You know, I've been doing this for 2 years, so hey. There is no real originals. Like I said, it has all been done. So, you know, what you gonna do? I can't claim that I invented this. No, it just works for me. I adapted a shave, and I guarantee you that 60 years ago, somebody else with a similar problem did the same thing. It's just the way it is. And so, you know, if somebody wants credit for something, he better come up with something really, really original. That's my 2 cents. Sorry for the rant. All right, let's get some water on the face here. Okay, pickups are going to be short today. Exactly. Who do we credit for the 3-pass shave? You know, who came up with that way? If you're going in wet with a soap, I guarantee you somebody else did it. I mean, back in the day, they lathered up in a mug with some Williams, and you needed to go in wet. You needed to bloom it. There is no original inventor of that. So when I'm going into into my puck, they call it the Marco method because he put it out there the first one. Okay, granted, it gives the whole thing a name, but you know, it's like you're going in wet with the brush. Yeah. Like I said, Steve, don't let him bug you. Yeah, you did, Tony. But how can you copyright something that benefits everybody else? Do I need to charge royalties? I don't think so. So I'm just enjoying, you know, basically what I'm trying to bring across, and that's what I tried to do in the last video, is, you know, the 3-pass shave, as nice as it is, it might not work for everybody. You start out with it, you map your beard, you figure out this works, this doesn't, and you adapt. You create your own technique, and that's what it's all about. So you get an enjoyable shave. The enjoyable shave, that is the most important thing. I guess, you know, it's like if we wanted an unenjoyable shave, we could have kept going with the cartridges. Hey, Irish, fantastic. Who reminded Alex? Did you remind him? Okay, that's smooth. I'm not getting really much. Wow. This is insane. There's almost nothing left. Incredibly smooth blade. Incredibly efficient razor. I mean, you know, for a red tip. I know it's not an R41 or a Claymore or something like that, but hey, Lark Butcher, glad you could make it. I mean, I'm already on the pickup pass, but at least you could join for the chit chat. Tell you what, guys. That's it. Fantastic. There's a couple of spots, my usual trouble spots, and that was it. So now we're going with the cold rinse. I guarantee you there's somebody that that will claim the fame to that one. I hope he's all right, Titty. You know, making it home from work and all that. I got myself here. I can feel it. No, I can. I didn't feel it during the shave. And the rest slickness here, guys. Just adding water. It's still gliding. So incredible. So wow, I'd say that was an epic shave. This is incredible. Skin feels great. A little wet spot. Zach, glad you could join. Thank you very much. So yeah, for those of you who just have arrived, I was using a Gillette Red Tip. By the way, for those of you who care to know, this is an A2, so 55, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. And the blade that I was using in it, the fun part was, there's no print on this. It's this baby, the legendary Persona 74. Compliments of Todd F, who sent this to me as an absolute surprise. So this is what the blade, hold on, let me rinse it off first. Let me get the soap off. This is what the blade looks like. You can still see some of the original old glue dots on there. And there's nothing written on here. So put that back. I don't know if he's doing a shave. I doubt it. He's not doing a live because we usually share time slots between it's kind of go back and forth, so everybody at least has a Saturday off sometimes, because life just sometimes tends to happen. So yeah, brush for today was the Shave Mac DO1 silver tip, and if Leo would be here, I'd say Dax rules. Yeah, German joke, sorry. And as you can see, there's still plenty of lathering. I didn't load up that long. But for those of you who don't know, today, this is the soap. I was using Sterling Sharp Dressed Man. Fantastic scent. Green Irish Tweed, their take on it. My opinion, Carrie, my opinion on Nasette blades, please. Do me extremely well. They give a great shave, nice and sharp. Tend to hold up about as long as a yellow 7 o'clock. I'd consider them slightly smoother than a 7 o'clock, but also not quite as sharp as the 7 o'clock, the yellow. But that's just very subjective. Yeah, face feel, going off of face feel basically. But they're great blades. They're one of my top 5. So let's go for some witch hazel. Standard store-bought variety as usual. Yeah, and the dog. Currently has somebody at the door. So fantastic. All right. Well, that person at the door is just getting out of luck. All righty. So let's, while this dries in, let's see what comes up. Sterling. Yes, sir. Hey, Leo. I was just talking about you. Dax rules. Brush for today. Shave Mac. Big fan of Shave Mac brush. Okay. Well, this is almost pulled in. This should be good. Let's go for some aftershave. I do have the matching alcohol aftershave, Sharp Dressed Man. Put some on there. I haven't tried them, but I know SoCal is my fan from an old Instagram post. Yeah, like I said, blades are extremely subjective. I mean, what works for me will, there's no guarantee that it'll work for you. Go on. What I wish. Oh yeah. Slight tingle where I got myself here. It's typically the usual spots where I tend to overshave. So yeah, that's my sign. Very possibly a male call. I hope. if it is, I'm out of luck. I'm not leaving the camera right now. So, wow, what a fantastic shave. There is no need for any balm of any kind. There's face feels great. The ingredients list on here is nice and fairly clean. I don't know if you guys can see that. That will focus. I'll read it. Denatured alcohol, witch hazel, fragrance oil, aloe, glycerin, and hydrolance. Whatever hydrolance is. Haven't looked that up yet. So. Yeah, that's a good one, Stephen. Yeah, it's yeah, that could be definitely something you might want to trademark. You know, put an aftershave on after the shave. So, most definitely. All right. So, let me just get everything out of the way. I guess we're pretty well done with the shaving part. Yeah, I'm just gonna see if I can get this facial hair under control. And I have had to trim it ever so slightly here in the middle because it was just it was soaking up too much coffee while I'm drinking. So that, I mean, the cup isn't big as is, so I need to save the coffee and not for later going. Good stuff. I'm getting a little bit cold though. So yeah, let's get this facial hair under control. So any plans for this fantastic holiday weekend, guys? Anything going on? Spend time with the family, cook out. I actually might try to go either to antique stores or something like that tomorrow on Sunday. Maybe see if I can find a yard sale or an estate sale to go to. Just kind of getting out of the house since we're expecting rain. I'm gonna trim that up a bit. Doesn't quite look as clean as I'd like it. Not my day to day. Well, not really doing anything special. Yesterday, like I said, I was just kind of hanging around the house, trying to, just kind of relax a little bit because it's been a tough 2 weeks at work. So yesterday was just kind of not much. But like I said, I might hit up an antique store or two tomorrow or later today, depending. Depends very much. I'm not getting it today. Today they're a little bit unruly. We'll sort that out. I don't know. Let's see, where's the comb? Where'd I put the comb? Oh, there it is. Alex, I'm not going to repeat it. Can't afford that kind of stuff. I got soaps coming. Yeah, they're a little bit unruly today. Oh well, we'll stick with it. It'll come in later. Kind of a little bit sticky there. Looks like I'm having a bad hair day with no hair. Oh, bad joke. Okay. All right, guys. So come on. What else is new? Yeah, hey, Tom. Jumped right into the conversation. So yeah. Yeah, well, we're about done with the shave. Like I said, just for recollection's sake, this is the soap, sharp wristband, Sterling, razor, red tip, Gillette, brush, Shave Max, DO1 silver tip, matching aftershave, obligatory witch hazel to, just kind of right after the shave, and the blade. Persona 74. And guys, the hype is real. The hype is really real. Yeah, I get to charge for them. Guys, I'm not going to repeat all this. There could be youngsters watching, but keep it up. You don't need any residual slickness for that. If you do it right, the slickness will come on its own. God, guys, you are nasty. Loving it. So yeah, like I said, not much planned today. Like I said, the maybe an antique store could be the right thing to do. Just kind of get out of the house a little bit. First of all, I got to see who was at the door. Like I said, sometimes you got to help, but you got to do things right. Wow. Okay, we have gone below the belt line. We have gone sub-zero. I'm just reading, guys. I can't read this out loud. I'm sorry. But I'm enjoying it very, very much. So you just keep it up. Everybody else will be wondering what the heck is going on once they see this after the fact. But let's put it this way. It's a fairly adult conversation. Excellent. So, Kevy, you were in the green room. Tell us a little bit about that. What did you get? Where is that going to be a separate video? I agree to some extent, but I also know that my son is going to be watching, and he's 13. So I got to keep it somewhat clean. Trust me, he already knows way more than I'd like him to. Oh, excellent. A meeting with Arthur Lamb. Fantastic. So, yeah, Arthur. Yeah, there he is. What did y'all do? I mean, just hang out, sniff soaps, the usual. Play around with lather, ruffle some brushes. Make Ian totally go mad in his store because you're touching everything. Oh wow, okay, so Ian does shaves. I didn't know that. I think somebody had mentioned it way in the past, but I've forgotten about it. So that's a fantastic service. Getting a shave right there. I consider that excellent. Wow. So did you bring anything home? Come on, Kevin, don't, I'm not going to pull it out of your nose. Yeah, Ian lets you touch all his bits. Excellent, wonderful. That's exactly what you want from a store like that. Man, that's excellent. Maybe that's one thing that Ian needs to implement. Serving coffee there. Keep the customer as long as he can in the shop. See, starting to fall into place. Stash is coming together. Sometimes it's just right after you do this, it's a little bit unruly. Since I don't use a blow dryer like, excuse me, like Cat does. Okay, you got some Village Barber pre-shave and aftershave balm. Ooh, that sounds good. Village Barber. Have you featured that on your videos yet? Ooh. Well, thank you, Arthur. All right. Well, we're about 48 minutes in, and the chat seems to be going fairly well. So I'm just going to kind of keep things going a little bit so we can chit-chat a little bit. Well, thank you, Arthur. Wow. Surprise coming to me. Fantastic. Thank you. Don't know what it is yet. I mean, if Kevy would be sending it, I know there'd probably be an old rotten haggis in there. That's going to be a surprise when you open that up. David fell down the rabbit hole today, thanks to Arthur and I. Yeah, pushing it onto people. Poor guy. I already feel sorry for him. There goes his life savings. And he's going to have to take up a second mortgage, knowing you guys. The downsides of a good shave. It is expensive. Now, Kevy, quick question. Since I've got several Scotsmen here, what do you eat with a haggis? What's the tradition? Is it taters? I take it taters, peas, carrots, something like that. Just to kind of get that out of the way. Yeah, Lockwich, I heard that the groom got nominated for Dundee's Business of the Year or something. I saw that on was it on Instagram where he did the posting, and I mean that's outstanding. I'm really happy for Ian. Brick and mortar brick and mortar shore. You're okay. Sean Connery, stay at home. Neeps and tatties. Tatties was potatoes, I think, and neeps was like parsnips, right? Yeah, with your speaking of, now that I'm live on this video, Kevy, I'm gonna hold you to it. One of these days, I'd like to see at least one pass of one of your shaves done in traditional Scottish Dundean accent. I've heard much about it, and I would be thrilled to hear it, even if no one in the world will probably understand it but Arthur. Kyle, or Carl, good to see you. Yeah, you're a little late. We're already on the chatty part. I'm sorry. Mashed potatoes and mashed turnips. Okay, so it wasn't too far off. Parsnips, turnips, about the same. So yeah, Kenny, I need to, don't just laugh it off. I need to hold you to it this time. I want to hear a positive, yes, sir, I will do so. Because nobody's, yeah, you have that accent. This is truly you, and I think we'd like to see it. Yeah, he's got a voiceover thing going. He even advertises for that. He's got somebody doing that. Uh, yeah, the subtitles are gonna go nuts on that one. So, Kyle, how have you been holding up? How's Florida? Hope you're doing well. Like I said, I'm sorry you missed the shave. I'm gonna hold it into the camera one more time, okay? Just because I'm so thrilled that the shave was excellent. This blade, this was it. The legendary Persona 74. I'm sorry, I'm bragging. I got this from Todd F, and it came in this little advertisement tuck, probably from the papers back then. So you know, I've carefully sliced it open just a little bit because it, you know, had a look inside, pulled it out, and I'm like, you got to be joking. Hot and rainy. Well, it's starting to cool down here. Today we've got like 70, 72 degrees, slightly moist because it rained last night. And I think we're fixing to get some really bad weather in from all this hurricane thing from Texas that's coming over. So Tennessee, I think right now is getting some pretty hard rain, and so yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we see what happens. Um, yeah, okay. If you've never heard of the Persona 74, that is somewhat of a fairly legendary blade from back in the 70s. Persona came out with the Persona 74, and 74 indicate I think it's the number in the periodic table for tungsten, because this is a tungsten steel that was used for the blade. And in doing so, it was supposed to hold an edge for an incredibly long time. There's a gentleman out there who, I don't think he makes shave videos anymore. John, you will find him on YouTube under the Mad Scientist. He did basically a longevity test on that, and he got over 100 plus shaves off of that. So, you know, that being said, we'll see. And I'm thrilled just to bits to have one. They go for huge amounts. I mean, we're talking $25 for 5 blades on eBay if you want new old stock. Tungsten blade, it's a tungsten steel. There's tungsten mixed into the steel. If you had pure tungsten, that wouldn't work, obviously, but it's basically tungsten is added to the steel itself. It's not just got a coating; it's mixed into the steel. So I had if you can believe the advertisement, you know, to some extent. It's pretty well like a hardened tool steel, and it just holds an edge supposedly very well and for a long time. And so yeah, I'm just thrilled to bits to be able to try one out. And you know, Todd he sent me one to try out, which is absolutely brilliant, and I'm thrilled to bits, as you can tell. Yeah, it's legendary. In some circles, it's fairly hard to get at, and if so, they're pricey. So he just traded it for trying some blue blades and Rotbart blades. So I was taken away by that. So thank you. Yeah, don't drop it. No, I'm going to be very careful in storing it too, so nothing happens to that blade. And we'll just continuously go on. And I'm going to have to probably get out a little sheet of paper, because I doubt I'll be able to keep track of that with my with my little dot system on the blades, if it does last as long as they say. The Persona 74, if it were made today, it would probably be to some extent a craze, but I think the real craze about this thing is that it's gotten so scarce. If it were available as a daily blade that you could still buy in the stores, I don't think people would hype about it as much. That's just, my take on things. It'd just be a normal blade like everybody else, and you'd be using it for 20 so shaves. Um, that being said, with other companies having to pull alongside that, either the blades would be extremely cheap, the other blades that don't last as long, or they would have to come up with something very similar, and you'd have some extremely good blades out there that you could pick out of. For some odd reason, I do not know why, Persona gave the 74 up. I'd have to read up into the history. I'm pretty sure that somebody out there knows more about it. Typically, you can find information like that on the Badger and Blade website. There's some incredible gentlemen in there that have some really good historical knowledge of this stuff. They've talked to the right people, and we did real research on this to figure out what was going on there. But for some reason, they gave it up. Either it lasted too long and they weren't making enough money on them, or like I said, for some odd reason, it just disappeared from the market at some point in time, and then the BE blade in general died out. I know they made Persona 74 injector blades. Just putting that out there for let's say Jeff Smith, who's a injector aficionado. They did make some Persona 74s as injector blades with the key. I don't think they ever made any SE blades, but I'm not sure about that. The stainless steel blades, the coming about of that was great. Once they started figuring out what they needed to do as far as coatings goes, I mean, there's a lot of experimenting going on between the 60s and 70s when they made that switch. When Wilkinson Sword came out with the first sellable and usable stainless steel blade, and it was Wilkinson Sword, put Gillette in a really bad spot because all of a sudden those blades didn't rust anymore, and they held an edge fairly well, a little longer than some people say with a carbon blade. But like I said, that's kind of your mileage may vary. But then they started, it's kind of here. They had the Gillette Supers, which is basically a carbon blade, I believe, with a coating on it to make the shave more comfortable, because they were just adding coatings to it, chromium, platinum plus chromium, and so on and so forth. So you just kept adding different things, and now you get the Derby, which has basically everything that's available out there tossed on it. I think the Wilkinson Sword Classics are fairly similar. They have chromium, platinum, whatnot, but, this stuff, ceramic coating, yada yada yada, to make them first of all more comfortable and last longer. It's the experimenting took place was back 60s, 70s. Is the quality still okay? I'm getting I'm seeing it in a very small window back there. I think it's a little fuzzy, isn't it? I apologize about that. I have to see about a different solution to getting the feed, up and running. Yes, 100 shaves out of a blade, Jeff, Lock Butcher. It's all about the profit. That's what it was always about. That's what Gillette always did. It's like I saw a conversation the other day on the forum where somebody said, the modern Gillette Platinum Plus, the ones made in Brazil that I can buy at the store, they go for about $7 for 9 blades. Oh, that's way too expensive for that kind of money. I can get 100 blades. Well, that's a very unfortunate development. If you look back in history, the original blue blades, if you bought that in a store, the price basically translated to nowadays money is almost identical. It's I believe 80 cents a blade. The original Gillette blue, 1930s, when you bought 5 of them, like I said, translates to about 80 cents per blade of today's money. I did the math on that. So gem blades are sold at Walgreens, and to this day they're still made. Unfortunately, every time I go to Walgreens, all I get is the made in Vietnam ones, which are Dorcos, and they don't do me so well. The regular Dorcos or the CBS ones, I've tried them. It's not necessarily a really nice shave. The even the gem ones, the only gem ones that I've been using the single edge is the Ted Pellas. Same with the injectors. Sorry, Ted Pella stainless. Yes, sir. That's the one. That's the one I use, and up until now, I don't have all too many people that have complained about it. I know Jeff Smith might be able to toss one in there on it. He's the man that knows it, knows a good amount of single edge stuff. So it's like if I'm in need of information, I tend to watch his videos and listen to him. Crystal clear. Let's see what else did I miss. Do you have a recommendation for the 1912 trim blade? Yeah, basically the Ted Pella. I can highly recommend that. Nothing else really works for me. Well, okay, so Jeff Smith saying treat is working well for him. The only treats I've tried were the double edge, and the double edge ones didn't do me well. That one always brought a tear to my eyes. One of those, the carbon ones, the black beauties, what they call them, the treat carbon with the grain. Oh, not fun. So I'm wondering if the SE ones would be more doable for me. Club and malt vinegar splash. Yeah, Tom, you can get the Ted Pella also. You can look on eBay. Just punch in Ted Pella and then just scroll through. They have a bunch of blades. You just have, they usually offer medical purposes or laboratory purposes. But that's exactly where I get mine from. That's where I got my injectors from, the Ted Pella injectors. They do me right. So, it's like this being single edge September, come beginning of the week, I'll be switching over to basically more or less exclusively single edges, injectors, and the gem style. No shavettes allowed. If you have that Focus shavette on a stick, that's allowed. By the way, just saying, they open that one up. Techmatics, if you have one and are willing to actually, give the blood in order to shave with it, can be used. There's one gentleman that's actually willing to try it. I'm looking forward to that report. Techmatic with the band. So got a nasty reputation for giving nasty shaves. But yeah, I will be participating in the SE September, if you want to call it a. Wet shavers are sometimes weird with their name givings of certain events. Kills you. But it's single edge September. So I'll be using my single edges as much as I can. Well, the carbon steel have their merits. They're if they work for you, they're great. The only carbon steel blade that I've had up until now that works for me is the vintage Gillette Blue from, I think it's 1946 or something, like 49. I don't have it's an R3, so if you want to look that up, date code on the blade is an R3, and they work fantastic for me. But that is the only carbon blade up until now that I've been able to use. But there's a bunch of stainless steel blades that I can't use. The Lords are basically, it's not for me. They don't do me well. The treats are more or less categorically ruled out. Because I've tried several of them, different brands, different name types, and it's just doesn't do it. Oh, fantastic, Carl. You're joining the SE September. Yeah, I know you love your bullet tip. Looks great, by the way. That thing beautifully shined up and everything. The Persona single edge blades. Which ones are you referring to? The gem style or the injector style? Tom. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's as much as you can participate. The SE September, it's you know, nothing set in stone, but it encourages to celebrate the use of single edges. That's basically what it's about. It's kind of, if you got single edges, you know, pull them out of the cupboard, you know, dust them off and give them a swing. You know, it's just a nice little thing to, you know, mix things up a little bit, give things a theme, and because you tend to settle into one, you know, a couple of favorite razors, and you bounce around with them a little bit. And this kind of, you know, more or less, it doesn't force you, but you know, it kind of brings back everything that you have in the back part of the den, and just kind of, you know, pull it all forward. That's fine. The Artist Club blades, as long as it's got a, you know, like a handle on it. Kemisori style are not allowed. Shivets are not allowed. There's that one with the half DE blade. The Focus. Jeff, help me out here. The Focus one that, like I said, I call it a Shivet on a stick. Which uses a half a DE blade. That one's been allowed. So like I said, whatever you got with a single edge on it, bring it out. Even the what's that Gillette Guard, that disposable, because it's got one single edge, they're actually kind of like turning a blind eye to that one. If you definitely want to use it. Valets are allowed. Kevy, I think he's still Focus Dynamic. Thank you, Jeff. Arthur, I think Kevy's still traumatized about that one. All you have to do is just pull it out of the case, and he starts to quiver. He's sitting there. So. Oh, I would love to see that one, Kevy. I'll come to you and film the shave while you use it, Arthur. That'd be an epic event. Arthur, show him how it's done. The man's missing out. Now, I'm taking the mouth awfully full right now because I haven't used a valet yet. So, but I would definitely watch that with Kevy's side comments. Kevy's great at narrating, by the way. You know, just when he starts cracking up, you just have to yeah. Yeah, that's it, right. If you look on Kevy's videos, he's got a nice scar there. And Arthur can do a polite accent. Well, Kyle, thank you for joining in real quick. That was fantastic. I'm sorry you missed the shave. I'd say we're about 10 minutes over the hour. I hope. Yeah, I think I'll let you go. I've held you up long enough, and I'm gonna see what I'll do for the rest of the day. It was really enjoyable, guys. Fantastic. So yeah, Jeff, enjoy cleaning the carpets. I do not envy you on this one. Tony, thank you so much for joining every single time. Standing up or getting up in the middle of the night, setting your alarm clock. It's an absolute honor to have you here. So thank you. Arthur, same with you guys in Britain, all of y'all. I mean, you're taking an hour out of the day to, you know, come here and you know, just chit chat with me, and that's I feel honored. So thank you. So yeah, I guess that'll be it, guys. You have a great Labor Day weekend. Those of you in the US. I hope you guys have off on Monday and get to spend some extra time at home with the family, or doing whatever you guys like to do. Yeah, and then have a good one. Thank you so much for joining. Bye-bye.